Morning.
Good morning.
That's okay. Okay, let's get started. We've got a quorum. First items, any public comment on our agenda?
Good.
Seeing none, we'll move on. Next item, approval of last meeting's minutes.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Is there any discussion? Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, those meeting minutes are approved. Next item, Matt, you got the update on the HSDR project?
Yes. Trying to figure out how to use the microphone here. Stacy, if we can, let's call this beach management update. I don't want people to look at the minutes and think we're still continuing the HSDR project, just in case someone sees that. But it's all the same update from the last time. We're coordinating with the Corps of Engineers, trying to determine the correct and formal process to roll that project into an inactive status on the Corps of Engineers side, and trying to figure out what to do with any remaining funding that's left over on the Corps' balance. So we should have some resolution on that, I'd like to think, within the next couple months. But as with all projects federal, it's a long, slow road. So we'll keep you informed.
What about our emergency repairs? We were going to look at a plan for...
Yeah, we're still, we had a meeting scheduled for May the 10th. That was going to be the just a public beach workshop to discuss the storm preparedness plan and also some permitting moving forward with just a blanket beach restoration project across Walton County. A template very similar to the HSDR project, just to have that permit in place and have it on the shelf. We had some scheduling conflicts on May the 10th, so we've had to shift that back. So it's probably going to be sometime June, possibly midsummer. So we will certainly keep you informed.
Getting into the season, we need to get a plan.
We are. We've started drafting, but the direction from the county was to hold this public workshop and then draft the plan and have it formalized, and I'm sure we'll march it back to you guys, to the TDC and the BCC for the final. I don't know if it will be officially adopted, but when we formalize the plan and have it all prepared and buttoned up, you will certainly be involved and certainly see that. But Brian does have some measure in place, such as going out to all the beach accesses pre-storm, documenting what's out there, the infrastructure, taking photos. The county already has a kind of a minimalist plan of, I think we hired an aerial service to go out and shoot photos, oblique photos of the beach. We're doing that as well. We are recommending that they go out and collect some survey data. Our last survey was collected a couple years ago. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but those are the types of details that are going to be in the plan. But really, it's all going to come down to that permit. That permit is going to be key, and that permit's not going to come within the next few months. It's going to be a year. Getting new state and federal authorizations for a countywide beach restoration project is not going to be a quick process. So we're compiling all of the data and marching that forward, but we did not want to submit those applications until we had this meeting. So that's been the delay, unfortunately.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. Okay, moving on to new business. Lisa?
Yes. I just wanted to see if maybe this committee could review some ideas about how to assist enforcement with the customary use ordinance. Because, since private property owners don't put, are prohibited from putting signs on the beach itself. Now, they can still, I believe this is right, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, they can post it at the toe of their dune if they prefer to, if they want to do that.
Correct.
But it makes it really hard for the code enforcement folks to have any idea, where to, let's say tents, okay, because on the customary use ordinance, tents are not allowed at all. On the public beaches, tents 6 by 6 by 6 are allowed. So there's not any really good way for code enforcement to have a clue whether they're on private property or whether they're on public property, if it's down seaward of houses, let's put it that way. I mean, regional accesses, things like that are easy. So that's just an example. I mean, there's other things that the customary use ordinance has differences from what the beach activities ordinance does. But that probably tents are the biggest, would you say, Brian?
Pardon me?
Of the differences between beach, I mean, obviously, beach activities ordinance allows for special events and things that, unless upland owners would agree to those, you wouldn't have them. But just the things that are dissimilar about the beach activities ordinance on a day-to-day basis versus customary use, would you say that tents are probably the largest?
Tents are the one item that's prohibited under customary use. Whereas in the beach activities ordinance or code, it's limited to a certain size.
Right.
So, now, as part of chapter 23, which is customary use code, part of that adoption included the TDC developing a marketing and signage strategy to inform the general public of what customary use is and all that. So we started working on that. Unfortunately, I don't know if you know or not, but our marketing director decided to do something different. So Jay is now back on the search for a new marketing director. Meanwhile, he's taking care of those duties and he's filtered those out to some of the staff. And so it may not be as quick as we would like it, but the other thing is it's a pretty big job on our existing signage. Okay, so you know, at all of our beach accesses, we have what we call our beach rules and regulations signage. It's part of our identification marquee, and so we're working on that as well. But we expect in 60 days we'll have something either changed on our existing signage and then some more signage included.
Okay.
Lisa's right. The challenge of where are we and where are the people that may be non-compliant, where are they in relation to the private property, it is a challenge. We use Property Appraiser's website, which we all know has a definite shift to the east on its property boundary overlay versus the satellite imagery. And then we have GPS units in our trucks. We use, we can connect into the ArcGIS system, and we have a app that's called the Collector System. It shows us where we are on that map. Okay, it uses GPS. It's plus or minus 6 feet. So we expect that this year there will be a lot of educational efforts as opposed to punitive, citation efforts to get people to understand what's allowed, where they're allowed, and all that.
Do you have so far any ideas of what people are or are not reporting, like what the issues are?
It started April 1st, of course, and so I don't have I have raw data available to me. I'll have the report produced around Friday or Monday of this week, or Friday this week, Monday of next week, which is my monthly activity report. I'll send it to everybody, and you can look on there and see how much customary use activity we actually did.
Yeah. Well, maybe
I apologize for not having that data right in front of me right now. But to be quite honest with you, it hasn't been that bad from what I've heard from the officers.
Yeah.
We meet once a week for our weekly management or code enforcement coordination meeting. That's where we have all of our officers in one room, me and Jeff and our code enforcement administrative person. And there just really hasn't been that much activity. Now, there haven't been that many people there either.
Yeah.
The spring break kind of wrapped up second week in April, maybe even the first week, to be honest with you, after Atlanta left. And there was a whole slew of other problems associated with what I call the Atlanta crowd that didn't necessarily include customary use. So there's just complete exploitation of our beach.
Yeah, well, maybe by our next meeting, we will have
Yeah.
some ideas what are or are not issues. It may be that people, a lot of the locals watched all that pretty closely. So I think they, at least where I see the beach, I see people being more compliant without anybody saying anything.
Yeah.
So.
We've actually had a lot of inquiries with property management companies and condominium associations and all that as to what is allowed. And so that to me is indication that they are being proactive in telling their guests.
Yeah.
Now, when I say property management, I'm not talking about the people that are renting property north of 38. Because where we have our problems is at our beach accesses, be it regional or public or neighborhood, where people that aren't staying Gulf front come across 38, come down the beach access, and filter east and west. But I thought that was good that we had a lot of inquiry by those people, because in the past, we've had difficulty getting the people that rent, the property management companies, VRBOs and all that, to make people aware of just what beach activity code is. And our Leave No Trace program has also helped out. We're getting very little Leave No Trace right now, and that's how it usually goes, is people learn, that you can't leave your stuff on the beach. And,
Do you have a comment?
Yes, sir. I was just going to say, to continue on to Mr. Kellenberger's point on with the rental companies, that's actually your first point of contact with a lot of your the guests that stay here. So as far as like for the marketing head coordinator or whoever it be, it would be an excellent idea to actually have like a Southwall pamphlet that could be included in an email for those rental companies, because that's their first line of education before coming down here, which I think would help the TDC and overall enforcement, because they already know before they come here on what the rules, guidelines are. Because the problem is they come into town, for example, with the tent canopies. I deal with those things left and right. Hopefully, and that'll be coming up this summer, I'm sure. But they come down here, they don't know the new ordinance. They go to Walmart Saturday night, Publix Saturday night, and then they buy them, and then they find out, as they've already spent their money and they're upset. It escalates to a little bit bigger of a problem. So if you reach out to those rental companies to talk to those guests before they come down here,
yeah, we actually do a pretty good effort. First of the year, our visitor center team combined with our beach ambassador team, and also last year I started sending code enforcement officers out with them. We distribute our visitor guide and beachgoer guide to all the bed tax collectors. Now, is it available digitally? I'm not sure, but I'm going to find out when I leave here today, because that is a good idea. Because everybody does everything electronically. We do have pretty good participation with bed tax collectors, including our links to our website, various other URLs embedded within our website that give various information on stuff. So you got a good point. We do a fairly decent effort. Where the rubber hits the road is when the people get here. I'm sure you've all rented stuff and you've read rental agreements that are, 6 or 8 pages. And just like any marketing organization, they don't like to give you bad news. It's all green flags and sunshine.
Yeah.
But they're starting to learn, especially with Leave No Trace programs. They wouldn't, literally 2 years ago, I was doing some investigative research, and I found that was the reason why property managers didn't tell their renters of the Leave No Trace program, because it was a negative message.
Yeah.
And but it became more negative when that renter came back up and said, "Hey, man,
Where's my stuff?
and they said, "Oh, well, Leave No Trace. Why didn't you tell me that?" Well,
Yeah.
they didn't want to upset you. Well, I'm upset now because my stuff's in the dumpster.
Yeah.
The Funiac. And so that they're doing better at it, and it's helped a lot. Like I say, our count, where last year was, I want to say 250, 200 items a night, and we're down 75, 50. And they're
Right.
small items.
How long has that Leave No Trace signage been out there? How many years would you say?
Well, there's been various versions of it.
Right.
One version started in 2003,
Uh-huh.
And it was generally centered around the public beach accesses.
Yeah.
Okay, because what was happening is our public beach accesses, people were just leaving their stuff there. Okay, and it became like a garage sale. So we started there. 2013 or 2003 was the original, when I say, formation of the beach activities ordinance.
Mhm.
And then there was a revision in 2009, and then 2013 was a good consolidation of all of it. It's pretty much the form we know now. And then in 2015, there was a slight change to storage at the toe of the dune, verbiage, mainly concerning vendors. But it's hard to stop the general public from doing it if vendors are allowed to do it at public beach accesses. But that's the interpretation, and that's what we go with. So, if you leave it, what the actual, the meat of the code is, you can't leave your items overnight on the flat sandy portion. It says the beach, and that's defined as flat sandy portion between toe of dune or line of permanent vegetation, which we also consider south of any permanent structure, meaning toe of boardwalk, okay, and water's edge. So if you made a reasonable effort to get it up north of the toe of the boardwalk, we don't consider that a leave no trace violation. So the
Okay.
stuff we get is truly left out on the beach.
Fair.
People simply just didn't want to fold it up and get it up to the top of the
Follow-up for you. So, let's say boardwalk is here, home here, home here. Signage that says this is private beach is within the toe, but it's juxtaposed to the boardwalk. So it's really on the side of the homeowner's house. Any comment or any?
If it's on their property, within their property boundaries, and it is at the toe of the dune, so the toe of the dune definition is, line of permanent vegetation or toe of the dune, which is considered where it starts to slope up, and or north of the toe of their boardwalk. Because all the boardwalks come down to the, right at the edge of the flat portion of the beach.
Uh-huh.
If it's north of that, we're okay with it. Customary use gives the property owner a 15-foot buffer zone where nobody is supposed to be allowed. So like I said, if all that stuff is in within that area, we don't want to get into a argument or duel with the property owners. Really? I mean,
Right.
you got to give them an opportunity to somewhat
Absolutely.
protect their upland portion of the property and let people know where their boundary lines are, headed down to the beach, because customary use isn't free for all. Customary use is a prescribed way of using the beach in a traditional beach recreational manner.
Okay. And last question on that, thank you, Brian, is any signage that they have should be particular to their own private property, not also using signage of a neighborhood association. To be specific, we have a situation where they're using the neighborhood association signage, so it looks like it's a neighborhood association sign, and it's not. It's that
Okay.
private property owner's sign.
Yeah. That starts to get into a civil matter,
Okay.
between that particular property owner
And the
that
association.
property or HOA.
Okay.
Okay, so, I don't have the ability to go in there and say, hey, you can't use
Oh, yeah, just wanted an
somebody
opinion.
else's logo or their authority to do that.
Okay.
It's a civil matter at that point.
Thank you.
Is the TDC gonna remove the signs at some point? Or
Pardon me?
is the TDC gonna remove the signs that people have placed down beyond the toe of the dune? Private property signs and such?
We cite them, we have to give notice to cure. And, the definition under Florida Statute 162, they got a chapter 1 and a chapter 2. Chapter 1 deals with traditional property-based code enforcement. Chapter 2 deals with more of the irreversible, irreparable damage. Both of them provide for us to give a notice to cure. it says notice, but I use the term notice to cure.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't give the time limit, it just says reasonable. So in those cases, what we do is we give the person opportunity, because sometimes they're ignorant, sometimes they're pushing the, envelope of what the code says. So we give them opportunity to fix it. If they don't fix it, we have to give them a warning first, and then the next day we give them a citation if they have refused to do it. We don't take it. We just issue them, a citation, and we can do that every day. Normally we get compliant behavior. It's not always what I would say mutual agreement, but they do it under protest with a threat to change the or sue and or change the code. And everybody has that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
In situations where we have active lawsuits against us, against the county, we've been asked to stand down on that piece of property. So that's why you have a few pieces of property in the county that still have.
Fort Panic,
Right.
is that one of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
I was wondering about those signs.
Has the right as a U.S. citizen to challenge anything in court.
Are there any code enforcement hearings, like typical code enforcement? If there's a violation, do we come before the same, Board of Adjustments, or?
It's actually a code board.
Okay.
And so that's for traditional property-based. Most of our hearings are heard in traffic court. Once
Okay.
again, we have the ability to issue the instantaneous citation under 162, Chapter 2, basically for irreversible, irreparable, or safety issues. And if you want to challenge it, you have 10 days to notify the court system that you would like to protest or challenge the citation. And they will assign you a traffic court date and go up there, present your case. Code enforcement presents their case, and typically Judge Green is the judge. He will
Any rules?
make a judgment on it.
Okay.
And, when we write a ticket, we're pretty sure, we're not pretty sure, we're sure that
Yeah.
you're non-compliant, and we have evidence backed up.
Yeah, I just didn't know the procedure, if there was a, way for the, violator or the homeowner or whatever to be heard.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wildlife lighting ordinance or code is the one item that we treat as a traditional property-based code enforcement item. But we actually have a pretty good record of getting people to change to become compliant.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we deal with a lot of property management companies because we have a lot of rental property that's coming from. The people who live here permanently, they understand and they do a good job of being compliant.
Mm-hmm.
But since we have an opportunity to deal with people that are maintaining the property, they're a little bit more receptive if you're non-compliant. So we call them up, they put us in touch with their maintenance guy, we go out, meet with them, let them know how to change it, and they change it. Now, there's still some non-compliant areas that, we're working on. We have a guy that's pretty much dedicated to that now, and he enjoyed it. Gets right down to the beach at night in complete solitude. As opposed to riding down the beach during the day, dealing with, people that might not want to be dealt with.
Yeah.
May I ask a
Yeah.
question? Since we were talking a little bit about a condo association, reminded me of something else. If a condo association calls in or fills out that little form online for a complaint, how does that work? Is there a designated person that has to call it in? Can it be any one of the owners calls it in?
It can be either one. It can be a person that is a collective ownership in that condo, or it could be, normally it's the president of the HOA and or the property manager.
Okay.
So they'll fill it out with their name and condo and contact info. And,
Yeah, I would think if they're representing the association, it'd have to at least be a board member.
Yeah, I just
Not
wondered.
just any
Like I say,
owner.
the majority of the time, it's the property management company that handles the property for them,
Okay.
because they're on site every day. have too many condos, they actually do a fairly good job of policing their areas, so to speak.
So the same if you had an HOA that had single-family homes, would you prefer to have a central contact point, or would you prefer to have all individuals?
It all depends on the ownership of the property, okay? So let's use Beach Highlands, for instance.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
Please do.
Each one go for property owners, owns, their piece of property down on the main water line now. And so in that case, it's not really an HOA. It truly is a single-family dwelling property. In that case, the person that owns the property should be the complainant, okay?
Okay.
Now, does that mean you can't complain against something else you see on the beach? Certainly not. But when we take those complaints in, we review them, and that's part of the review process. Okay, is this John Roach complaining about an issue on John Roach's property, or is this Lisa Bauschy complaining about an item on John Roach's property? Now, we enforce the code uniformly, so we'll log it in, and the person will go and during their daily rounds check it out. That's one thing I want to make sure is clear is that we're not dispatch oriented. You don't complain, and we drive down and look at it. We log it in. Next available officer picks it up. It is assigned that case. And he checks it out. The way we stop non-compliant behavior of people using the beach on a daily basis is they typically continue to do that same behavior until they are confronted about it. So come in on Monday. Chances are you report on Monday, we're not going to be there on Monday. We'll probably encounter them on Tuesday and inform them of what's right and wrong, and, depending on their attitude, whatever the infraction is, they.
Well, as you can imagine, I would prefer that individuals do their own.
Prefer that in the case
but-
of a single-family dwelling property, that
Yeah.
person makes a complaint.
Yeah.
If it's a collectively owned beach by an HOA, let's use Seaside, for instance. Okay?
Sure.
So they have two types of beach there. They have public beach owned by Seaside Development Corporation, and they have private beach owned by Seaside Town Council. And so in that case, it would be appropriate for the Seaside Town Council property manager to fill out a complaint as representative of the collective ownership of that portion of the beach.
Okay.
Is that it? Anything else? Anybody? Audience?
Except for now.
Okay. Well, thanks, Lisa.
All right, I got one item of new business that's not on the thing. That's what I'll share with you. We were approached by a person down in Miramar that suggested items or bags for people that want to clean the beach on their daily walks to be able to do that. And he introduced us to these little small devices,
Yeah.
which if you'll recognize, these are very similar to the
Dog.
vegetable bags in
Yeah.
produce section.
Grocery store.
And so we've done a little research on them. There's a couple models, permanent fixed or temporary fixed. But what we would do is attach these to our garbage collection station post. One problem we have encountered through our research is that the bags don't hold up well to UV light, and they could become litter themselves. So what we're thinking of is maybe a pilot program at a regional beach access to see how well they're received and used.
Yeah.
What their purpose would be is for the beach-friendly person that's coming down for the morning walk to be able to have something to pick up garbage while they're walking.
Yeah, put some signage about dogs too.
Yeah.
People to clean up
Yeah.
after their dogs as well.
So anyway, this is the idea. What we would do, I've talked with Josh about it. We would build a small little cover to help cover it from environmental or UV degradation. But anyway, this will go before the Destination Improvement Committee later this week. I just want to run it by y'all, see what y'all thought about it, so I can.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
It seems like a good idea. I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit of pushback about plastic bags looking like jellyfish. You become litter themselves.
Yeah.
Sure.
Somewhere
Turtles eat 'em.
You got to come to a fair.
If they get used quick enough, the UV won't eat them
At
up.
least I think the
Like I said, we'll
stainless
monitor it.
steel,
Yeah.
that's encouraging.
During the bond program, we
Yeah.
find a bunch of them on the beach
Yeah.
because You know, little Johnny ran up there.
Yeah,
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
No,
Kids are
you
gonna
see,
be-
they're turning more into trash than actually picking up trash, then obviously it's not gonna work, so, yeah.
Anyway,
You're not doing dog permits, are you? At
No,
your
ma'am.
office? That's still going to be at wherever it is?
Admin took that function over from tax collector, or from clerk of court this year. And so they've already started that program, so, no, we're not doing it.
Do you know if they encourage people when, because I have a dog, but I don't take it to the beach, so I don't have a permit. Do they encourage people when they get a dog permit to walk the dogs down toward the water, where the beach at least gets washed of, I mean, even if you pick up the solid waste, it's kind of nice if the beach gets washed off instead of having it all over the dry sand.
The permit application is just an application, it's not a management practice.
So there's no education really to it.
No, that, you know, we kind of rely on people that own dogs to sort of understand that.
As a dog owner with a permit, no, we weren't educated, but I am now.
That's a good idea.
No, well, you know, it's funny because I find two kinds of dog owners,
Yeah.
basically, that walk on, at least the beach that I'm on. They either tend to walk them down by the water's edge mostly, and most of those tend to pick up the
absolutely.
solid waste. And then the others walk up by the dune line and don't pick up
Yeah.
anything. And of course, that area doesn't get washed at all unless we get a lot of rain or something. And so I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
gross, you know, but.
No, that's a good thing, you know,
I think it's harder to walk up by the dunes, so most people would
It
tend to
is.
walk by the
You
shore.
would think that.
yeah.
I would have too, but I think it's because I think they do it on purpose because they don't want to pick up the waste. Is
Oh,
part of
My
our destination-
speculation.
Yeah, part of our destination improvement work we're doing right now is identifying public space amenities. And one of those amenities is a dog baggie holder to pick up your poop. And it also has some informational message on it.
Just combine it with that.
Yeah, well, I say, most of the ones you see have some, you know, little
Have a dog, yeah.
Yeah, on the front, you know,
Yeah.
and so, another thing I'm trying to do with our marketing department is do what I call single point messaging. Because right now, you walk down our boardwalk and you see our big sign, and it's got a plethora of rules and regulations.
Yeah, don't read that.
So,
The boardwalks are brilliant, though.
I'm of the age, you know, of when our family traveled, you know, we would experience the Alka-Seltzer signs on the side of the road, and the southern fruit stand, vegetable stand signs, where you have progressive messaging. And so I'm thinking, you know, some
Start up like on 30A and then another sign, a little closer.
boardwalk, you know, an appropriate place, have a single point message.
Yeah,
Right? And one of them will be dogs.
yeah.
You know, we used to have that on a lot of our regional beach accesses, but it got too big as well. So now they've been removed because, you know, they were too big, and I guess they got rushed.
Nobody's gonna sit there and read the sign on their way to the beach. Oh, wait, little Johnny, come back, yeah,
When you've got 3 children running ahead of you towards
Yeah.
the beach, you can't stop and read.
yeah.
But, you know, we used, you know, the other thing too is doing signage that has a little more character to it as opposed to our typical correctional institute produced sign. So, you know, it's just, it gets your attention. As I travel around different parks,
Put it all on the boardwalk, on the steps. You gotta look down to walk down the steps, man. There's all your messages right there.
we have it.
Yeah, I love it. It's
Those little ones,
yeah, they're great.
maybe a few more, so that's
Yeah.
what we're working on. Okay, so appreciate y'all reviewing that and looking at it. No action required on that. However, we do have another item concerning dogs. That's under beach code revision request, David Holmes.
So the last 2 pages of your package.
yeah.
Yeah, I read it when you emailed it to
So
us.
this is a fellow that lives just to the west of us, and they spend a lot of time on our Walton County beaches, and they have requested consideration for a change to the code that concerns dogs that would allow for out-of-county ownership permits. So, That's the request for consideration.
Have they requested it at their own county? I mean, I know it's in the Walton Sun that they're looking at
They-
dog-friendly beaches in
Yeah.
Okaloosa now.
I just read that this morning.
Yeah, so,
I need to inquire as to what his activity is in Okaloosa County.
I mean, we got 11 code enforcement officers and, 75% of their time is spent chasing dogs. That's just for our dogs,
Right.
So I'm inclined to say no,
Unfortunately, since he asked, he would probably be a very conscientious person
He seemed
about
like
it.
he was.
But as soon as we did that,
Yeah, it's,
the floodgates would open and the rest of them wouldn't ask and probably wouldn't get permitted.
Yeah.
Could it possibly be written to where if you live within so many miles of our county line? Because like according to his email, he's right outside of an access of our county line.
yeah.
And that's-
But he's got friends in Destiny too that would like to, use it.
Yeah, that's-
Probably do a
Yeah,
little-
I understand, but that's the problem when I was reading it too, is that I know he's within probably a half a mile, but then what's our cutoff? Do we
Yeah.
let him
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep Destiny?
And then the guy that's right on the other side of that line, what about,
Exactly. Then we start going,
but I'm just on the other side,
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure we could, I don't think that's within our purview, is it? Isn't that a county ordinance anyway?
It is, but.
We can make a recommendation.
I mean, yeah, we could make a
The way
recommendation,
we
but, yeah,
revise is we take it through advisory committees,
yeah.
and so that's what this is, so.
So we need a motion, vote on
Yeah,
this?
I'll take no, action on it so that I can carry it forward as a, no vote.
I'll make a motion that we, recommendation, we vote no on the revision.
We have a motion? We got a second, Leonard? All those in favor?
Aye.
10-4.
Opposed? All right, that's a no.
That's all I got.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Any other old business? Any comments? Public comments? Okay, meeting's adjourned. Oh, yeah. Don't miss that.
Yeah, really.
My opportunity.
Man,